Hello Green Ants. So in this video I'm going to quickly explain how we would factorize a common factor that is actually a binomial. In other words, the common factor is actually contained within these brackets. When you have a bracket that is the same, then you are able to actually factor that out as a common factor. So the important thing to remember is that when we have the question, what is the question that is being asked of you? Because if you see brackets, you automatically would like to multiply by distribution. But in this case, you need to check to see what is it that is expected of you. You need to factorize the following expression. What does that mean? I need to write this expression as somehow a product. I need to write it as a product. Now, remember we did common factor factorization where we were looking at numbers that are common in our coefficients of our terms. We're also looking at our terms to see if they had a common factor there. So here, what you have is that the bracket x plus 5 is actually the common factor. Okay, so do not multiply out. We are going to factorize this. This bracket is your common factor. So that means that I'll have x plus 5 as my common factor. If I take that first term and I divide it by x plus 5, what do you think I would have left over? X plus 5 divided by x plus 5 is 1. That means that I have a 2 left over. So I'm going to open my brackets. That's going to be a 2. And what do you expect to have in your second term over there? That's going to be negative 7b. And you're done. So let's look at the next one. I've got negative 3y plus 2, negative x, y plus 2. Okay? Well, these are both negative, so usually we'd want to change that, but I'm going to leave it for now because I want you to just focus on what we're trying to do here. It's a y plus 2. That is your common factor. And I will be left with negative 3 minus x. Okay, let's look at the next one. We've got x minus 8 and x minus 8. That means that I've got a common bracket. Remember, I'm trying to factorize. So there I have a common factor of x minus 8 and a minus 3 left over. Right, now these two have there's a bit of a situation here, okay? Because we've got the common factor of the bracket, but let's see what happens. If I say that 3x plus 5 is my common factor, I will be left with a squared minus a. Now, if you look at this, we always want to factorize completely, right? That means that I need to make sure that I have the highest common factor taken out everywhere. So here I've got a 3x plus 5. This can't be factorized any further. But a squared minus a, those two terms do have a common factor. And the common factor is, let's write this properly, an a. So if I take a factor of a there, I will have a minus 1 in brackets. Now, this part is just that previous bracket there. It's being multiplied by the first bracket. So actually what I have is, I've got 3x plus 5 multiplied by a multiplied by a minus 1. But you know that multiplication is commutative, which means that I can write multiplication in any order. It will still be the same answer. For instance, if I have 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4, that gives me 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 6, 12, 18, 24. But if I have 4 times 2 times 3, that's 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 3 is 8, 16, 24. So it's the same. You can move it around. Usually what we do in maths is that we take this A and we write it in front. Okay, it's just our convention. It's just the way we do it. We don't have to do it, but it's the convention. And when you're doing maths, you really need to follow the convention. So that's going to be A, 3x plus 5, and A minus 1. The last one is quite similar. Okay, there's going to be a second step there as well. So let's quickly see. Firstly, I've got a 2x minus 7. And in my bracket, I'll have a 20x squared y minus 10xy. Right, let's look at our second bracket. We've got 20 and 10, so there's a common factor of 10. And it's an x squared y and xy. So let's look at this again. 20x squared y minus 10xy. The common factor would be 10x y. Only one factor of x, because the 10xy over here only has one factor of x. So that means that my final answer would be 2x minus 7. Then I'm going to have a 10xy. I'm going to have 2 because 20 divided by 10 is 2. X squared y divided by xy, I'm left with one factor of x, and negative 10xy divided by 10xy, that's 10xy divided by 10xy. So that has to be 1. And that's your final answer. Following the convention, you should write the 10 in front, the 10xy in front, and then the brackets. This example is also on your teaching notes that I sent to you. Okay?